Games are a form of media, like books, films, or artwork. Some people see games as simply diversions. However, this is likely due to many games lacking depth, and many games being too complicated. This makes some people think that a game can either be so simple that it is not worth playing for more than a few minutes, or so complicated that it is not worth wasting time on. Games are, however, simply interactive media, and to say that games are any less deserving of your time than books, films, or artwork would be saying that interactivity makes the media not worth playing. I consider all these forms of media as art, which can appeal to anyone. Most games are seen as simple, partially because early games were made for children, and early video games did not have the technology to be more complex. Sports and professional games, however, are examples of games that have depth and require skill. And now with the advancement of computers, video games have become more complex as well. The main difference between sports and video games is that sports are usually played physically, while video games require computers. Many people still play simple games on computers to pass time or when they're bored, which contributes to the idea of games being too simple. However, this shows that people do enjoy playing games, whether it be in small doses or as sports. Children are often more willing to play games than adults are, as there is a prejudice of games being for children. This prejudice is baseless and ignores the fact that adults play games as well, but call them by other names. Since games are interactive, they require people to do things and think. This is more engaging than film, since you are actively taking part in them and often change the game's outcome. This is in fact the only difference between films and video games. Both film and video games have stories, characters, and themes, which are the elements that make films, and therefore games, great. Anyone who enjoys films, plays, television shows, books, or anything else with a story would also enjoy games with similar stories as well. The difficulty of games sometimes make people think that they are too complicated or involved for them. This is most often simply a case of being intimidated by the apparent challenge because the person has never done this before. But games are rarely ever so complicated. Many video games are made for people who have already played similar games, and so are not easy to pick up for someone who has never played a game. But this is mainly because it is more profitable and easier to do this. People who play games are not smarter than people who do not play games. They just know what to expect. This means that anyone can play games, and anyone who enjoys depth in any medium can be a gamer with little effort. Since the gaming industry is not generally made for new people to play games, people should be shown an easy way to appreciate games for what they are. Many people have unfair prejudices against games because of the overly simple or complicated games they have seen or played, which is like judging all books or films as boring. Publishers, advertisers, and developers should make an effort to make gaming more accepted, which is already happening now that console games have become more accepted. Adults tend to see games as children's toys, which is again a prejudice based on usually seeing children playing them, when in fact adults try to have fun too, but ignore things that they arbitrarily see as childish. It is important for people to be open-minded and not see games with a prejudice, but instead make a genuine effort to appreciate the art that games offer, similar to films and books.